And welcome back to Tabletop Goodness. I think it's time to talk about Altered again, and before I dive into all the upcoming changes and my exclusive card reveal, we'll just quickly check in on not just the story of Seeds of Unity, but Altered in general. Well, as of this set, Equinox has decided to change the distribution model from an LGS first model to an entirely crowdfunded model. Well, to be fair, it's more of a hybrid, with tiers for LGSs as well, but it's still crowd-based. So Seeds of Unity was successfully funded after a bit of debate over the actual funding amount, which I believe was potentially more hurtful to the IP than helpful. But, well, here we are with even the next set already announced, which is actually looking quite cool, if I may say so. With that out of the way now, let's talk story. Whereas in Skybound Odyssey, players had to pacify a giant leviathan floating in the sky, your expedition now finally arrives in Asty, the Reka's high-tech floating city, built around Naos, a gigantic world tree that the Reka are in risk of over-exploiting. Asty is also a multi-storied city with Naos' sap streaming downwards, with the people at the top benefiting more of it than the people on the bottom. Sounds somehow familiar. It's a story of exploring politics, social difference and otherness, and exploration into how people from different cultures live together and how they discover the yet unknown. Well, it's certainly aspirational, I give Equinox that, but personally, I do find it slightly overcomplex for an otherwise light TCG. Story aside though, they do introduce some new, very thematic mechanics. Manaseeds. The seeds in Naos' sap, called Manaseeds, can be used to ready mana orbs, essentially offering a method to store some mana to trigger actions at the right moment. We got gifts, and a gift is when an opponent, on your turn, draws a card, resupplies, or receives a token. So basically, you will have to weigh up giving your opponent a benefit and getting a boon in exchange. And the last one is in contact. If you and another player's expedition are in the same region, In Contact is being triggered. Given the political theme of Seeds of Unity, I find that this really leans into the, getting to know each other thematic. Now, before I want to look at the all-new rarity and big change in product lineup that truly shakes up what Altered is and will feel like in the future, I want to show you this exclusive card that I get to reveal today. Introducing Moth Decoy. Is it a moth? Is it a decoy? I don't know. This card in its rare Izmir faction form, costing 4 mana, lets you create a 2/2 Mana Moth illusion token in a target expedition. Perfect for boosting your stats against another player. Plus, you can even reduce the cost of playing this card. This also comes in an out-of-faction card, opening up access to this card for Axiom as well. Okay, now, let's talk about the all-new Rarity. Exalted. From Seeds of Unity onwards, Exalted cards will make an appearance, which are twice as hard to pull as a specific rare card. They don't have any alterations and only exist in a single rarity, but will have alt art and full art versions in addition to the base version to make them even more collectible. These cards are also built to synergize with a specific hero in mind, so choose wisely, I guess. And finally, we need to talk about the new product lineup. With Seeds of Unity, Altered finally sees the return of Starter decks. I believe this is fantastic news, as I believe Altered still needs something that has, a very low entry barrier in order to gain new players, and that's the ticket right there. What I'm personally not overly happy about, though, is the introduction of collector boosters. Now, these are full foil 15-card booster packs that not only have better pull rates when it comes to some of the normal set cards, but they also contain some cards and card treatments exclusive to collector boosters. Look, I do understand that other games that are potentially much, much bigger than Altered, introduce a second tier aimed specifically at collectors. There is also a completely different level, of cash flow and demand involved in those other card games. Personally, I would have liked to maybe, see a second change in the normal Altered booster pack composition, which could have allowed for higher chances on some cards, or I don't know, maybe adding another slot over introducing a completely separate product line. So I'd really like to know what's your opinion on that. Is this a product that you would gladly spend your money on? When all is said and done, though, Altered is still a very young game when it comes to TCGs, and it seems that they are making some changes to make it more accessible, and I welcome that. They also do have some cool ideas, especially for the next set, Roots of Corruption, so I'm very curious as to how Altered will do in the future. I hope for Equinox that interest remains strong enough to warrant the crowdfunding approach, though, and I'm looking forward to see what's yet to come. So, did you back Seeds of Unity, or will you be backing Roots of Corruption? Well, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time on Tabletop Goodness.